In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
Well, it is, it's happening. The GOP official who claimed that the 2020 election was stolen because of voter fraud. He himself voted illegally 9 times.
What?
What a dummy.
A Georgia Republican official who pushed false claims that the 2020 election was stolen was found to have himself voted illegally 9 times, according to a judge.
Good day, sir.
Well, at least he can say he wasn't lying when he was talking about election fraud. He knew firsthand. He's like, there's election fraud. I know, because I did it.
Yeah, I did it a bunch.
idea, but it just might work.
In order to penetrate the election fraud conspiracy, I myself had to be an election fraudster. Brian Pritchard, the first vice chairman of the Georgia Republican Party, was ordered to pay a $5,000 fine. So you can see the fines are not. They actually, I think the way it works is they charge you $500 per illegal vote. So when you added them all up, it comes to $5,000 plus some kind of additional, processing fees, shipping and handling. So
somehow Ticketmaster made off with some profit.
They call them investigative costs, but that's what they are, like administrative costs. Anyway, he had been sentenced in 1996 to 3 years probation for felony check forgery charges. So this guy is a real day at the beach.
And he was what? What position did he hold?
So he was the he was a Georgia Republican election official. A Georgia Republican official, I'm sorry. He was vice chairman of the Georgia Republican Party. Vice chairman. Okay,
with
so he wasn't
check
chairman.
Fraud conviction?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, we're not too discerning who we put in charge of the party, huh?
He passed the background check.
Yeah, okay.
But now, I mean, I don't mean, I try to speak fairly toward everyone. I mean, it's possible that this is 1996, that he was charged and he, was convicted of the forgery charges, but he was put on probation. You know what I mean? In other words, he paid his debt to society, everyone, so he can continue on. I mean, again, I'm just trying to be fair, but clearly he violated his probation. I mean, so here's what happened. His probation was issued. He got 3 years probation for these felony check forgery charges. His probation was revoked 3 times, okay? So he is a repeated probation violator. Once he violated probation in 1999, after he moved to Georgia, and again in 2002 and 2004. In 2004, the judge imposed a new 7-year probationary sentence.
Let's put him in charge of the Republican Party.
That
sounds like a great idea.
And the funny thing is that he was ineligible to vote during that period because of the felony. Okay.
Oh, my God.
So he couldn't vote until at least 2011 in the state of Georgia, where state law there prohibits felons from voting. But court documents show that he signed voter registration forms in 2008 in which he affirmed that he was not serving a sentence for having been convicted of a felony involving moral turpitude. So he lied and signed that form. He then cast ballots in 4 Georgia primary and general elections in 2008, as well as 5 special primary and general elections in 2010. There he is now. We're showing him to you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So this is a guy who is a conservative talk show host. He is this conservative political guy who is a hard right. He's an election denier, pursuing the big lie, as it's called. And he, most of all, and this perhaps most ironically, he makes sort of the cornerstone of his whole deal those who vote illegally in this country. He thinks that there's this big issue of people voting illegally, and that's an effort to manipulate an election, and that's what happened the last time. This is a big part of what he says on his radio show and kind of who he is. So Pritchard himself, as it turns out, is one of those people who, what can I say, clearly voted illegally and has now been found by a judge to have voted illegally and has been fined. One of the things he said is, I do not believe 81 million people voted for this guy, Joe Biden. So, yeah. I'm sorry, did you have something? Otherwise, I'm moving on.
No, I just thought it was funny. Commentator said the guy voted extra to make up for lost votes. It's only fair, you know.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, that's, I think that picture that you're showing right now, Albert, is not him. That's Troy Nehls. That's the congressman. I just glanced up. I didn't really pay any attention to it. But Troy Nehls is now, he's a GOP, a congressperson, Richmond, Virginia. He's under investigation by the House Ethics Committee now. They did not specify the focus of the investigation, but it was related to, anyone? Campaign finances, everybody. That's the, it's always about the money. And so this is now the House ethics investigation against.
Hey, Mark, it's George Santos here.
Yeah, George is one of them too, who's been in the money and the ethics investigation. So that continues as well. And
Calvin said he was supposed to vote another 11,770 times in Georgia. Okay.
Yeah, if you're going to do it hard. Come on. And there is Matt Schlapp. Now, Matt Schlapp he and his wife are like big GOP people in Washington. They were, during the Trump administration, sort of the it couple. Okay, mm-hmm. There they are. Thank you. Matt Schlapp. He was
they have a fancy chandelier there.
Pro-Trump chairman of the American Conservative Union. He had hugely represented and leaned into everything Trump. Okay, had a big blowout with Michael Steele, the former RNC head, on the air. I think it was on, now he's on MSNBC, Michael Steele. So Schlapp and he went at it on the air. In fact, to the point that, and these guys used to be pals, because remember, Michael Steele used to be a Republican. Well, he led the Republican Party, in effect. So they got into this food fight on MSNBC. They haven't spoken since. And believe me, he, as a result of that fight and as a result of his stand, became this wunderkind in the GOP. Well, things have changed. And now that dude you see there on the left, he was the focus of sexual assault allegations by, I believe, 3 men. He denied the charges and actually began to deal with this situation in a way that was quite common, and that is he bought out the defamation lawsuit and the sexual battery charges. In other words, I'll call him victim, who stepped forward, decided to drop the charges. And the American Conservative Union, the right-wing organization that he runs, was in the background, but Schlapp was in the foreground saying, see, I told you, these charges have now been dropped against me. It was all crap. But as it turns out, the Republican operative who sued him was in fact paid to drop the lawsuit. A Daily Beast did some good reporting on this, and I'm just referring to their story, and I refer you to that story as well. And it seems as though this is one of those things that bubbles to the surface, and you make a deal that the victim, or the accuser, maybe I should call him that, can only say so much in public statements, and that's exactly what happened here. So the statement on the part of the accuser is very weak sauce. No reference to, the payoff or anything like that. As to others who have stepped forward, there have been accusations that they've been harassed, etc. And none of that stuff has really bubbled to the surface in the way that this first one did. But this is the statement. The claims made in my lawsuits were the result of a complete misunderstanding. This is what the accuser says now. And I regret that the lawsuit caused pain to the Schlapp family. The Schlapps have advised that the statements made about me were the result of a misunderstanding which was regrettable. Neither the Schlapps nor the ACU paid me anything to dismiss my claims against them. Well, we know that that's not true now, right? So they just call it all a misunderstanding. Again, no fun in GOP land. In Florida, a deputy's son, 10 years old, is accused of selling his father's gun to a classmate for $300. The boy exchanged the handgun for $300, and the incident was discovered after ammunition was found in the backpack of another student. That was earlier this week.
He's 10 years old?
Yeah, his father is deceased, and he sold the gun to another student at Country Oaks Elementary School. And they were placed under lockdown this week after the sheriff's office got this call about a suspicious incident on campus, and they discovered this ammunition in the backpack of the boy who purchased the gun. The gun was later found in his backyard under a shed, hidden with a 74-gram bag of marijuana, according to investigators.
At 10 years old.
Starting them early in Florida. And then finally...
Where are my weed smokers at?
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
Not in fourth grade. Come on.
Pretty ugly.
Mark, we're running a little late.
How dare you, Albert, interrupt me when I'm just picking up... I'm literally just beginning...
Do you know who I am?
...to hit my stride.
Kind of a big deal.
That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe. Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.